We're here at Easton. We've got Dave, Brian. We're meeting with Cody. Cody is pretty much the big wig here at Easton. So Cody, it's great to meet you, man.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go through how we make our arrows here in the U.S. We're the only American-made arrow company. We take great pride in that. So what you're going to see here is a lot of proprietary stuff, and
not the top secret stuff.
Yeah, you can't see it.
None of that stuff.
None of that stuff. But you guys will get to see it with your own eyes.
Cool.
And, you know, and what makes our process different, and what we believe is a better arrow, a better product. So I'm excited to show you around and show you what we do.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into our YouTube video here of us touring the Easton facility. It was an amazing tour. As you heard Cody say in the beginning of the video, a lot of the way that they make their arrows is proprietary. And so we couldn't show it, we couldn't even film it. Some of the rooms we couldn't even get the cameras out and film any sort of B-roll or anything. And so I'm gonna be kind of announcing some of the places that we were in and talking about it, but I really hope you enjoy it. It was a really fantastic tour, and if you want to go learn how these Easton arrows are made, we invite you to reach out to Easton.
An arrow that was shot in the Olympic Games in 1992, so yeah, pretty wild. You see what we did here. Antonio Rubello actually shot this arrow, and this was one of the prototypes, I believe, one of the replica arrows, and we had so much practice, you know, because this arrow, as big as it is and long as it is, and you can see all this fancy stuff right here. So it was actually just soaked in fluid, as you can see, and then it was shot, and you can see the vapor trail, or it was actually, it was soaked in fluid and lit, and then shot, and then the fluid around the gas lit the cauldron. And then this is the history of the modern day arrow.
So right when you walk in the building, one of the first things you're going to see is this display case of all the arrows through the years that they've designed. And it was a pretty powerful moment to see where they once were to where they are now.
So in 1920s, 30s, we started with the first 2-footed cedar shaft, early cedar hunting arrows, and then we kind of get into a 4-footed cedar shaft right there. So you can see we're starting to evolve, we're splicing stuff like that, make things more aerodynamic. We start still playing with cedar up until the 30s. We actually made a barreled stainless steel shaft. So you can imagine that's probably a little heavy,
Wow.
It's barreled, to help fight wind and stuff like that. And then we started playing around with aluminum. And we keep going down, and then we start playing with fiberglass. We go back to an alloy style arrow for a little bit. And then we start, humdrumming down here into carbon and like a protruded shaft. And then we started messing around with AC products, so you can see right here aluminum carbon, so we have an aluminum core with carbon wrapped around the outside of that. And then this is a significant arrow. It's still made today and still used in the Olympic Games, especially the Paralympic Games and stuff. That's an ACE, so it stands for Aluminum Carbon Extreme. And then we have the ACH. We started getting back into aluminum a little bit. It was super popular, 2216s, 2319s, 2413s. And then we have this guy right here. So that arrow is the Easton X10. So that arrow was designed around 1995 when we pushed it out into the market. 1996, we won the Summer Games with it here in Atlanta. So Justin Hewish, who actually won a gold medal from the USA, so we only have a couple of gold medals with USA shooters. Archery is very competitive on the international scale. But since 1996, that arrow has taken every medal in the Olympics.
Wow.
Yep. It's actually the most winning piece of sporting equipment in the world under the Olympic Games.
Remember when we used to, when we started, I don't know, 20-some years ago, we were using those thin carbon.
Oh, yeah.
I think I almost more those at first.
And even those,
Yeah.
those, and then we went to those thin, skinny
That's
carbon.
the Super Slim right there. That's kind of like Chuck Adams stuff.
Yeah.
Chuck Adams, man, he sold a lot of arrows for us, with
Yeah,
his
so that
branding
would-
and the tree bark camo and stuff like that, like you see right there. So
I don't remember it being that fat. Maybe more like that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
you probably had a 19.
I didn't. I was shooting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like the
19 series.
1990s.
It's hard to realize the history that is behind the Easton, company. They started in California, moved to Utah. They loved the place that they were in, and then all of the history about the Olympics and everything they did there and all that they do for that. It was really amazing.
97. So you're going to see this process here today. You guys are not on camera though. This is C2. So this is what we call carbon, and this is why we believe, and a lot of the populations believe in the archery community, that we make the most consistent arrows with this process.
Shoot arrows, make arrows out of that, man.
Those are my kind of arrows right there, man.
Now we finally go into the machine shop, and it was really amazing to see that all of these arrows are from scratch, made right here in the USA in this building. They start with their flat pieces of metal, and they curve them and they change them and they mold them into the arrows that we all love to shoot. We saw the anodizing of the arrows, where they send electrical currents through what they're dipping them in, so it helps protect the arrow and the casing of it and the metal and everything on it, and then even how they get the color onto the arrow. It was mind-blowing.
So this part right here is super proprietary. This is where we make our carbon arrows at. A lot of folks might say, oh, we don't make arrows, we get our arrows from China, put a label on them. No, we don't. We actually use a super proprietary process called carbon, or C2 is what we used to call it. But you're gonna have to come to the factory in person to see it. So
Camera, stay here.
Yep.
You guys stay here, we'll be back.
Now with that carbon, I know, sorry, we can't show you anything, and it's their most top secret proprietary form of making these arrows, and so we couldn't show it to you.
So this is just the outer. What is this? What's that made of?
So that's our aluminum. That's that 70-75.
That's aluminum. Okay, that wraps around the carbon.
Yep.
Got it.
Even seeing how they made the straightness of their arrows was just amazing, and that's another thing they pride themselves on, is the straightness of every single arrow and the bend in the arrows as well. It was quite magical, the things that happen at this facility.
So now we're about to go through the AC process. You definitely cannot see this on camera. You must come here for this facility. So this is where a lot of the high-end arrows are made. You might see some ACE products, some AC products in there, and they range from anywhere from $250 a dozen to $550 a dozen. They can get up to $1,000 with a complete set. So.
Thanks for tuning in and learning a little bit about the Easton Arrow facility with us. We're sorry that we couldn't show you as much as we would have liked to make this video a little bit more full. But again, we invite you to reach out to Easton to learn more about the process of their arrows and how they're all really made here in the USA. The links are down in the description below to Easton, to Baku, if you want to look at the Easton arrows, if you want to look at any of our products here at Baku. And always subscribe to our channel for more content from us and through our industry partners and everything like that. Thanks for watching.